So I know that you want to become a potential aspiring director, and to make, as they say, your network is your net worth. So I kind of want to plan to be like a leading man. I'm pretty good with special effects.
Okay.
I could show you how good my special effects are right now.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Okay.
Is this supposed to be special? I can't tell.
How's it going, man? Piggy pie. Was good.
Did a giant come on your head, or are you just fucking insane?
This isn't semen. This is not semen. I tried to go for a pink liquid. It looks like... I don't know. The best swimmer to grace the waters since Michael Phelps. He's got an incredible academic record. He's also a media and communications master. He also worked on side projects, working with Dreamscape Productions with the movie Around the Decay. He plans to work more with them. And he's also planning to shoot a short film this fall. I'm excited to see it. It's based off a script his friend wrote in a screenwriting class. And we're here with the incredible Brady Lyons.
Thank you for having me today.
All right, well, Brady and I are going to discuss about film, media, his interest in that, and, how he plans to become an incredible director. I'm just a bit curious about your short film. 7 pages long, I believe, right?
Yeah, around 7, 8, I want to say.
Okay, and what prompted you to be like, we need to do this right now? What attracted you about the story specifically?
Well, it was just, first of all, like a really heavy story and very close, and also not a lot of representation is put on this story. I don't want to give away because it's not my story to entirely tell until I feel as if the final product's done, which is why I very closely talked to my writer friend, literally called him. Oh, hang on, there's a bunch of muck.
It's okay.
I called him out of the blue one day and said, hey, I really like your script. I want to make a short film out of this. Do I have your permission, essentially? Because that, above all, was the most important factor of it to me. I don't want to make this without permission. And we met up, had coffee, and talked oh yeah, this is what, how I'm going to handle this, is how we're going to handle that, this I'm going to have play, the main character. But other than that, when we did a script reading for it in class, almost the entire class was moved by it. And I just knew that it was a story that had to be told in some manner of film.
Have you ever had experience with shooting your own film? I know you had experience with Dreamscape Productions, but have you personally ever sat with a camera, sound equipment, all that type of stuff?
Yeah, I have a little bit of experience in that. I mean, growing up from a young age, I was always making stop motion pictures with my Legos or doing iMovies with my cousins whenever we were all together. But the biggest experience I have was in high school. I had a year of media production classes where I got to actually start up our school news program. So it was about me and 3 other kids in this one classroom, and we'd run around finding stuff to interview. I went to swim practice one day, interviewed my coach then. We had an undefeated season, so it was a really good story to tell, luckily. Got a little something.
But that being said, about your stuff, what's your process here? How are you going to advertise? How are you going to plan to get actors? The sound equipment you're going to use? I mean, what's going to go on?
Well, best part about getting actors is my little brother goes here now, and so I can just use him for whatever I want because he also wants to be an actor. He's been in a couple short films with his friends, so he's got a way more experience than I do in that department, which is why I automatically thought of him as my first pick for anyone to play a part in this role. For sound equipment and lighting equipment, there's actually a ton in Memorial Hall that is just open to rent for any PSU student. So luckily I have all those resources at my disposal, which is a big factor of my thought process of I can actually do this, because otherwise, I'm a broke college student, so otherwise all of that would be way expensive and I do not have the means or money for that right now. So that's where I'm going to get that. Other than that, I'm working on assembling a crew right now. I'm going to probably shoot this in my apartment, so my roommates have no choice. They're a part of this. Other than that, I've handpicked a couple people that I trust, and super excited to get work on this. I've also been storyboarding. I already kind of know some shot layouts, but I just kind of need to storyboard and finish that process of how can I actually show other people how I want this to look.
Okay. And what aspect of technical filming do you find most difficult? Is it the sound? Is it the lighting? What do you think is going to be the most difficult challenge to overcome?
I mean, I think lighting is one of the most difficult aspects to overcome as a startup film producer. It's a very challenging aspect to learn, just kind of how you control, whether it be the sun itself in a shot like this, where it's coming right down on me, yet there's a bit more shadow on your face. How you actually...
Sorry, I just had a bit in my mouth.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Okay.
Don't worry. Yeah, you're welcome.
No, I kind of aspire to be like a good leading man.
Yeah.
I kind of want to play like a comedic lead role, and maybe in the future when you do a film like that, I'd love to join.
I'd love to have you.
Yeah. Is it okay if I could show you the jokes? If you would cast me.
Yeah, sure. Give me your comedy sketch routine.
All right, we'll do. You ever think, a mosquito is gonna land on a woman's boob, and instead of blood, milk fills them up? That's pretty good. So you worked on Dreamscape Productions, professional film set. I want to say, what is the biggest shock you had working on a real film set?
Oh, probably the amount of professionalism, actually. I knew them as a small indie production, and I heard of the budget, which ended up only being $300,000, but actually how much professional camera work, lighting there was, which really taught me a lot in my career going forward, and also just the overall amount of care and, like I said, professionalism that went into it. There were prop guns in scenes, and even though we were only a small cast and crew of around 30 people a day sometimes, every prop was handled with extreme care. Only certain people were allowed to handle the firearms. If there was a firearm used on set that day, there'd be sort of a little display that this is not a real firearm. It has been dismantled, that it cannot fire anything. If anybody wants, please take a look. So that really kind of impressed me, how much care they took into their cast and crew, just making sure everyone was all right.
Right.
One of the biggest surprises for me was actually how much I got to do. I started off coming on as a production assistant. Then they kind of had me helping out with changing camera lenses. I was the second assistant camera for a little while, so I would change lenses and help move the camera to certain places. And then in the summertime, we did reshoots. They actually asked me if I kind of wanted to do body double work and stunts, which was kind of a dream come true for me.
Interesting. I like that. Now, speaking of the genre they did, it was horror.
Yeah.
Is there a specific genre you want to work in? What is the thing you do? A drama, comedy, horror? What do you want to work on?
I want to work on everything, really. I'd love to do a horror movie. I'd love to do comedy, but I think drama and romance would hold a special place in my heart. Maybe some action films too. I know those require higher budgets, but I do have some talented friends back home that I think I can make something work for that. But romance and drama are kind of my two big areas that I'd like to work a lot with.
First Brady Lyons production, though.
Brady Lyons production. Oof, that's a great question. I gotta think back. I want to say it was either one of...
Ignore that.
I'll try to. It was either when me and my cousins made a iMovie, or I made a stop motion animation film with some of my Legos. The iMovie with my cousins, we were ghost hunters trying to capture whatever was in our house. And the iMovie, started off with a Minecraft Lego set, and then eventually inspired, as one does with all their Lego characters, into the whole lore of your extended Lego universe. So.
And I'm curious about your productions. Are you gonna have a separate channel? Are you gonna post this on your Instagram? Are you gonna have your own channel? What's gonna be the takeaway? How are you gonna market and advertise this film?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have my own Instagram, my own YouTube channel where I can upload these. I already have an Instagram channel where I post all my media productions, all my photography. I had to start a new one, so I'm posting everything over again. But Brady BL Media Production, so that's where I post everything. It's going to consist of my work with The Clock and their recent basement tapes, some of my work on Dreamscape Productions, some of my other work just taking photography in high school, some of just my writing as well, and just also kind of teasers of what's going to come with this short film, one of the lucky ones, and I'll post all that on a YouTube channel that I'll create hopefully soonish.
That sounds awesome. I can't wait to see what other features you have in the future. All right. Wow.